in scene 13, it's all about Jamie and Bonnie's reaction together and how they act, which tells us a lot about Bonnie's childhood and how Jamie brought her up and what happened after Anna had died. When she first walks in, I thought, when she first sees Jamie, I thought that she might possibly revert to a childlike stage, because she suddenly has this connection to her childhood that she doesn't usually have, and this could possibly shock her into acting the way that she did when she was younger, uncontrollably almost, and I thought it might have taken her a minute or so just to get back to normal. So because of this, I made the first lot of her lines in a neutral tone, because she's suddenly been given all this emotion that she doesn't know what to do with, so the only way she knows how to deal with it is to act very neutrally and almost give out no emotion whatsoever, even though she's almost boiling over with emotion. But because she doesn't know what to do with it, all she can do is bottle it down and not let any of it get out. This is until she says, "Why are you suddenly bothered? Do you need the money?" I thought this was because it's her finally, shaking out of it and realising that she can still be herself and talk to Jamie properly as if she was, like she's an adult. But I feel like it would still be very hard for her, which is why she has these changes in emotion so quickly. Because I thought that when she says, "Why are you suddenly bothered?" it could be kind of annoyed because he's turned up out of nowhere asking her to sell this house that she obviously doesn't want to. And I thought that would very quickly change to being quite genuine for the next few lines. Saying, "Oh, that's okay, you have kids." This change in emotion and reaction, I feel like it's very common for Bonnie when she's got a lot of things that she doesn't know what to do with. So when she sees Jamie, she's suddenly overtaken with all this emotion over Anna, and it takes her a while to come to terms with it, but while she comes to terms with it, she changes in emotion so quickly and changes the way she acts, almost like a flick of a switch. In her mind, she just changes so quickly, because later on she says, "What are you doing here? Why are you worried about me now?" But also seems slightly pissed off and annoyed, because she thinks that it's her house and he shouldn't be allowed there. I think this could also tell us something about Bonnie's childhood, because I feel like if she had a good childhood with him, despite the fact that her mum killed herself, they could still be very close together. And if anything, Anna's death would bring them even closer, and Jamie would want to cherish Bonnie completely because it's what he had left of Anna. But instead, in the way that Bonnie's acting, shows that he didn't do this and they weren't close together when she was young. This just proves that they had this separation. Anna's death caused this separation between the two of them. She seems very confused when Jamie says that he cares about her. I feel like he never told her that he does care about her, and he is worried about her constantly, but she doesn't know that. She just thinks that he's there just to get the money, or he's just there to get what he wants, less about her. This is explored in Bonnie's big line, in which she kind of explores how she felt in the way that Jamie acts towards her. Because she says that has never converted into anything tangible that she could do anything with. That's a very unusual thing to say, as if Jamie never cared about her, and he never showed that he cared about her in any sort of way, whether that being through gifts or actions. So I feel like her saying that definitely tells us something about her childhood, and the fact that Jamie was so overtaken by Anna's death that possibly he can't act the way he would have liked towards Bonnie. Bonnie then gets very defensive, saying, "Why are you standing in my kitchen?" This definitely shows that she's grown some attachment to this house and she doesn't want to let it go no matter what happens. And despite the fact that she's so affected by this house, she never wants to let it go because it's her one connection to her mother and her grandmother. And then Jamie goes on to have his little bit about how much he cares about Bonnie and how he tries not to think about Anna or Bonnie despite the fact that he cares about them both so much. So Bonnie reacting to this would be very interesting because it could either be her just being pissed off, like, oh, like, you don't need to say this, why are you saying this? Or it could be her genuinely listening, genuinely thinking, like, oh, well, maybe he did care about me. I mean, maybe my whole childhood I thought about it in the wrong way. Bonnie goes on to say that her rabbit died. This is a very important line to Bonnie because I think that Bonnie is a lot closer to animals than she is to people, and therefore if her rabbit died, it could possibly mean as much to her as her mother dying, possibly. Because her rabbit is her one true friend, really. The one that really sticks with her and cares about her when no one else has. And then her rabbit dying is almost a confirmation to Bonnie, almost, that no one really cares about her, no one wants to stick by her. And therefore her rabbit dying can almost send her off the edge, and that's shown with her next line, with how lost Bonnie seems to be, and she starts talking in metaphors and similes, but that's very opposite to how Bonnie usually is. Bonnie usually is very straightforward and factual, but the way she starts speaking is completely opposite to that, and I think that's partially to do with her rabbit dying and the fact that she's suddenly been thrown off the edge, but it's also the reaction to Jamie suddenly turning up and her having to deal with everything that's happened, and her being in that house is a constant reminder of what happened, and she possibly can't deal with it as well as she should. However, when she says that it's fine, I'm fine, I feel like it's her collecting herself and realising that she can be fine, and despite the fact that she's in this house that everything happened in, she can still be herself and be what she wants to be, despite the fact that she has constant reminders of what happened before.